Hey, Chaz. Hey, Aaron. What are you boys up to?
Oh, what's up, man? Nothing much, just showing Aaron some self-defense moves. It's kind of a new hobby of mine. Pump!
Ow.
Oh, shit, dude. You're pretty good.
Yeah, man. Turns out the only thing you really need to know how to do is yell palm, and it just kind of works out. Pump! 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 Pump!
Whoa, bro, calm down. You're scaring me.
Don't worry, bro. This isn't real. It's just a sketch within a sketch. Aaron's been filming the whole thing.
That's a novel concept.
Someone should make a movie about that.
Welcome to Cast into Hell, a podcast where three dudes watch one horror movie each week and pass final judgment. Will today's movie ascend to heaven or be condemned to hell? I am one of your illustrious hosts, David.
I'm Chaz.
And I'm Aaron.
There it is. Beautiful. If you are just turning in for the first time this week, this is the only podcast where David, Chaz, and Aaron rank and review movies. What we do, guys, is we watch a movie, we decide if we like it, we talk about it, we analyze it, and we got an ever-growing, locked-in list that ranks these movies from best to worst. Today, we are tackling our 11th movie. And that is somebody
One
break
cut
the
of
suspension.
the dead.
One cut of the dead. Oh,
Our first zombie
Chess?
film.
Let me get a nitpick
okay.
out of the way real quick. I hated how in Japan they call a shot a cut.
yeah.
That
Actually, the
bothered me.
movie's title literally translates, according to Wikipedia, the literal meaning in Japanese, or I guess that's there's multiple languages in Japan. Yeah, I'm not sure which one this is.
No,
but-
you're thinking of China. They speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much exclusively.
Okay. I know the
Yeah.
writing is called kanji, and whereas we just call our written language English as well, so that threw me off.
Yeah, so they have multiple alphabets. Like they have
Okay.
kanji and katakana and hiragana, but the spoken language is Japanese.
Bet. Good to know.
And just
Well,
a
in
great
Japanese
moment of realizing we don't just teach you about horror films. You'll also learn things about other languages if you listen to our podcast.
I somehow am the biggest weeb on this podcast, which is crazy because I'm so far from being like Japan obsessed.
It's not that crazy. I probably would have been, but I got very distant from my weeb traits post college.
I'm kind of the opposite way. I feel like you either like emerge from your nerd egg into your adult stage, and you either like crawl towards American comic books or like Western comic books or towards like anime, manga, shit like that. I definitely like crawled hard towards like Western comics and haven't been exposed to that much Japanese culture, to be completely honest, until today. Or yesterday, when I watched what the Japanese would call, as I've been trying to say for like 10 minutes, Don't Stop the Camera. This movie is called in Japanese, but we know it as
That's a better
One
title.
Cut of the Dead.
Honestly, yeah.
Or honestly, one shot of the dead.
Yeah, it should
would
have been one shot.
better.
Yeah, I assumed that there was a fucking pun going on with cut, because you cut zombies and you cut movies and it's one.
There was
I
some cutting.
Maybe?
There was. Yeah, I don't think that's intentional, to be clear.
Maybe
I
else.
don't either. So I suggested this film. Let me get that out of the way. I wanted to do a zombie movie because back when we all met in high school, whether zombies were our introduction to horror films, it was kind of what I think started our connection with each other into the horror genre as a whole. Whether it be the George A. Romero films or remakes via Zack Snyder, video games like Left 4 Dead, which we played all the time, or like Call of Duty zombie modes.
28 Days Later.
Even reading The Walking Dead. Like, we have this connective tissue behind zombies.
Yeah, World War
That's so
Z,
true.
Zombie Survival Guide.
Yeah, I read The
To
Walking
me,
Dead.
it's
It was
like-
your omnibus that you lent to me, Chaz. That's when I read it for the first time.
Yeah, I think I bought the first omnibus of Walking Dead and lent it out to all of us to start that series, because we all loved zombie media in general. Like, whatever it was, we were in.
Yeah, I was straight obsessed back in like 2009 through like 2012, 2013. That was like, to be fair, like half the world was obsessed at that point. I know, like
Yeah,
on my college
I mean-
campus, they had like zombie games where like for the week you would start out as a human and one person on campus was a zombie, and you brought Nerf guns to class
Yeah,
to
they did that at
protect
SCAD
yourself.
too.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
like,
we
it was-
100% grew up in the height of like zombie culture or the zombie zeitgeist in terms of like
Yeah.
it taking over media.
Absolutely.
There's another glaring hole in our list as well, and that's foreign films. So this one kind of sort of
This filled that as well.
it
Also,
hits both.
the reason this specific zombie film, none of us had seen it. I wanted to watch a movie I'd not seen, which was not true for anything else on the list so far.
Uh-huh. If you haven't seen this one either, you should watch the movie and come back to us because this is a very unorthodox film. And if you don't know what's going on with this film, it is 10 times better.
Yes.
And that's all I will
Yeah.
say right now. Go watch it.
Yeah, there is a whole genre of fiction where it's just better if you don't know anything about it. Like I always talk about the video game Outer Wilds. That's one where if you don't know anything, it's just so much better. This kind of falls into that same category where there's some interesting stuff going on and it's a hard one to get through at first because you
It
think
is.
it's one thing
Yeah.
and it's something else. And just go watch it. And make sure that you get through the first third because it's worth it. It pays off.
You got to watch the first 36 minutes of this movie. Actually, weird synergy. I am reading 2 horror novels a month right now, and I just finished a book called Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. And at the end of his book, and his book is very like an unorthodox type of novel as well. It's like, well, I don't want to say because it'll actually spoil what's going on with this movie. But at the end of the movie, or at the end of the book, he has a list of 20 movies that you should see if you've never seen. And I was surprised. We had already committed to this, but I see One Cut of the Dead at the back of his book listed as like the number 3 slot of like a movie you should see if you've never seen. And his little description was, don't quit before the first 36 minutes. And I was like, something's going on. And I got to say right now, if you're still here, you just have to understand that spoilers are a thing. Final warning, go watch the movie and come back because as of right now, we're going to spoil the fuck out of this bad boy.
Yeah, you can't have a discussion about this movie without it. But like, so as of right now, full spoilers. The zombie movie that starts, it then cuts away to being about how people are actually making that zombie film.
Yeah, it is a movie within a movie.
It's not a zombie movie.
It's not
There's
a
no
horror
zombies
movie
in
at
this
all,
movie.
really.
Yeah, it's not a horror movie.
I think David and I both had the same reaction watching this for the first time, where we panicked after getting to the twist of like, oh, we're launching into this, and like 20 minutes maybe into that, be like, let me look up and make sure this is actually a horror film.
Yeah, so again, this is what can only be defined as an infallible list with no mistakes on it. And so when I was watching this movie and the twist happens, I was like, holy shit, I didn't vet this movie. This is a Shudder stream. So I assume that like everything on there counts, but we have a very specific criteria. It must have horror movie listed as the genre in the first sentence on Wikipedia, or it must have horror listed as one of the first 2 genres in IMDb. I'm going to go right ahead and say this movie's not a horror movie, but it's going to be on the list because while Wikipedia says this is a zombie comedy film, IMDb says this is a found footage horror film, and
Which is inaccurate. It just is not.
It's just
like,
it just isn't.
It
It just isn't.
100% is not a found footage film in any way, shape, or form.
I was fully prepared to say, boys, we're gonna just have to rank the movie within the movie. Like we're gonna rank One Cut of the Dead on this list, but like not the Don't Stop the Camera movie.
Okay,
or
well,
whatever,
in that
you know?
case, it's still better than the Human Centipede. So it won't
Yeah.
be the worst.
It's a film about film.
But we didn't make the genres, so let's rank it on its merits. I think let's
Fair
rank
enough.
it based on how we thought about it and not consider how it fits the genre. We didn't label it a horror film. We're just watching it, and I think we should just
That's-
rank if it's a good movie or not.
To Aaron's point, this is, in addition to being an infallible podcast, this is a vibes-based podcast, and this movie certainly has horror movie vibes regardless. So let's get into it. This is a film that opens up with a 36-minute long cut. Probably not really a long cut, but that's neither here nor there.
Actually, it is. That's one thing I learned. So
it really is a long cut, like that first 36
quick cut
minutes.
in. If you are choosing to watch this on Shudder, which is where it's an original film, there is a series on Shudder called The Last Drive-In, which features a host named Joe Bob, and he gives you insight into the making of the film. And they did 6 takes of the 37-minute intro, and it is all one long take. So
Awesome.
the take
honestly,
you see at the beginning of the movie, it took them 6 tries, but they eventually got it in one go.
Yeah. So just to explain the basic structure, if you're watching this and you don't see this is something you want to watch, but you're curious as what we're talking about. So as David was saying, the first third of the movie, the first 36 minutes is a kind of crappy student quality, found footagey horror film that is derivative, boring, zombies. It's like so many little things in it just don't really make sense from a filmmaking perspective that you're just like scratching your head. Like, what the hell is going on here? But it's not awful. Like it looks like something someone would really make. It just had some odd decisions, and you're sitting there and you're judging it and you're looking at it, especially for this podcast. I'm taking notes. I'm like, these are all the problems I have with what's going on. And then it totally flips it on you. It goes, yeah, we knew you were going to have those criticisms, and every single one of them is addressed in the latter half of the movie when you find out that this is actually about the crew making the movie, which turns out it's a live broadcast. So they had to just kind of roll with the punches. And it's about the struggles they went through behind the scenes. And it becomes this like incredibly endearing film about what it's like to make a movie. The first third was a slog. The second third was okay. The final third was, I was charmed to hell. I was so into it, so excited to be watching it. It was a really cool genre deconstruction piece. It was severely nostalgic for me too. It made me think, Chaz, when you and I used to make little films back in high school and a little bit after. I mean, it was just, I was right back there on those little low budget sets, trying to figure out answers to problems with my friends, you know?
Yeah, it really was a callback to like making short films and just being like, hey, we've got this issue and now we need to rewrite this whole section of the script. When we were doing it, it wasn't all in a one take live broadcast thing, but like that is how it feels when you're making a movie, you know, like you get an issue and it's like, hey, I have to rewrite this whole thing and I have to make it work with the rest of the film. You're thrown into these scenarios.
Yeah, and you have to make compromises and you have to figure it out in the moment, and you only have so many resources and you just do your best. And it was so cool to see a film tackle that, and also to be made to feel kind of like an ass for judging the first third so harshly.
That's what the movie is about. The movie is about making you feel like an idiot for not being in on the joke in a charming way. And the other thing we really haven't delved into is I want to talk about what the film within the film is actually about. Just like the quick plot to give viewers or listeners some context. It is a movie about a group of people making a movie about zombies, and because the director is pissed off at how unauthentic their performances are, he goes onto the roof and does a blood ritual that causes actual zombies to go or to become a thing, and they attack the studio, and he runs around and films them fighting zombies, basically getting to the top of the roof, guerrilla directing style, while they're running around and, escaping zombies. He will grab them and throw zombies at the crew, etc. And from the very get-go, like Aaron said, there's some like, why the hell would you make these choices? Like there's dialogue that doesn't make sense. There's scenes that just seem thrown in. There's weird, awkward pauses that make you scratch your head.
There's fourth wall breaks. Like the director talks directly to the camera, which really did throw me off so much. Of being like, what is the reality of this?
Yeah, I kept thinking, I was like, is the camera a man? Is that a character? Is the cameraman a character or not? Like they couldn't make up their mind. And I was like, is this just incompetence? I don't know.
It pissed me off. At first, it pissed me off because you see through the lens of the cameraman filming a scene of the movie, and then the scene ends and they walk off and the cameraman follows them. And I'm like, wait. Was I actually watching the movie through the lens of just like a normal camera, how any movie would be shot, where like the camera is not a character? Like obviously in Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch, all these found footage, like the camera is arguably a character unto itself. In this case, there's actually a cameraman there, he will fourth wall break, like fake blood gets on the lens of the camera. He'll wipe it away at one point. He gets injured and drops the camera and someone picks it up. It's cool, but I was very confused. I was like, is the camera just like an omniscient thing that we see the movie through like we do all movies and never think about beyond, the cinematography? Or is this supposed to be found footage style where there's a guy holding this thing? I cannot tell. And it made me so fucking mad for the longest time. And then once you get the reveal, you're like, oh, that's actually really cool. And the reveal is the movie ends with the main character ascending to the top of the building that they're in. She stands in the bloody pentagram and the credits roll and the title screen comes up, One Cut of the Dead. And then it goes 1 month earlier. The director you see in the movie is approached by a TV exec wanting him to make a movie about a group of people making a movie about zombies when it really happens. And by the way, it's going to be live broadcast, so this is going to have to be one take, and that's the gimmick. We're going to call it Don't Stop the Camera or One Cut of the Dead, and that's literally what we're going to do, and it's going to be great. And the director's freaking out. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And he literally says, I don't need your best. It's fucking TV, man. I just need you to make it happen. And at that point, the movie becomes about how they make it happen. And you then are seeing the film through the omniscient camera that you're used to seeing movies from. And the guy who's running around and filming the first 36 minutes of the movie that you saw, you're going to see all that. It's like it becomes a first person movie and then a third person movie, to bring it to like video game terms. And then to make it just one step further, you're going to then see someone filming the actual crew, filming the fake crew, film the actors as the final credits roll for the movie. It's just pretty cool. There's no other word that I have to describe it. I just think
it's clever.
It works.
It's a great.
It's clever.
It's very clever and very well thought out.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great love letter to filmmaking, and it comes across in such a heartfelt way that you can't help but like love the movie. Even as I was disappointed that it's not the horror movie or zombie film that I thought I was recommending. I was like, well, I still would love kind of everything about this movie. It's not at all what I was expecting.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that are love letters to filmmaking. There's not a lot that are love letters to indie filmmaking and like gonzo, like get it done filmmaking. And I think it's really beautiful. I mean, it's not for money. It's for getting it done. It's for the love of the art. And I just thought that was beautiful. It was really, really cool.
Just some quick insight into the background. Again, like this is a student film. So basically the filmmaker and like a bunch of the actors are a part of the, I think, Indo group in Japan. And basically as their graduation process, they have to make a film. So they made this on a $27,000 budget with, and most of them paid into making the movie. So like all of the actors like paid that $27,000 to help make this film, and it made over 2 million.
No, actually, in fact, in the US alone, it made 27 million. I am reading right now.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Then I had some outdated data.
It has a $25,000 budget and a $27 million US return, 3.12 billion yen in Japan, 30.5 million worldwide, making box office history by earning over 1,000 times its budget, which apparently had never been done before. Holy cow, this is also the highest rated zombie movie on Rotten Tomatoes of all time.
It should not be. I will just say it should not be the highest rated zombie film.
Also, and you'll hate this, David, you're not sure if it's even a found footage film. It is actually ranked the best found footage movie ever made by Rotten Tomatoes.
Which is also inaccurate. It is neither of those things.
It really isn't.
It's not even found footage. It's just footage.
Yeah, who found it? It was a live broadcast. Who found the footage?
I found it on Shudder. Actually,
even within the world of the film itself, it's not found footage. Like the film in the film isn't found footage.
No, the director walks away with it. And actually, I'm going to highlight we talked about this movie being clever. The most clever thing about it is that it has a lot of intentional dumb decisions and the director, the real director of the movie, which I'm assuming is not the actor who
It's
played the
not.
director.
A lot of
It
people
is
are
not.
disappointed by that.
Yeah,
But that's
I
also an
hoped it would
insane
be.
expectation of people.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome, though. It would be
you're
awesome.
right. You're-
It would be awesome, but like that's just very unlikely to happen in any film. It is incredibly difficult to star and direct in a movie. I know that from personal experience.
Sure.
I tanked my
Yeah.
own short film by trying to star in it because I thought I could do both. Generally,
Well,
you need years of experience just being in front of the camera before
Mhm.
you're even close to being competent enough to be behind it and in front of it.
But like I said, it has a bunch of whack ass shit in the first 36 minutes that it then doubles down by saying, you thought that was wacky? Here's why it had to happen. Some examples include an actor falling down and them having to wait for them to get up. An example includes the makeup just isn't working out and they want them to repeat their lines while they get the fake blood on the character. An actor is a recovering alcoholic and ends up downing a bottle of sake, and he's supposed to be a zombie, and you're like, this is a really weird and lifeless performance, and it turns out that he's actually just off camera. Someone is holding him up below the waist and like using his arms like puppets. There's a part of the movie where they lose the axe. It's actually really great, and I'm not going to spoil all of it, but they lose the axe that they're using, and you can tell the actress kind of like ad libs, like, damn, I'm going to need an axe here in a minute. And they're like, how do I get an axe? And the director's like, just have her pick one up. And she goes and cowers in a shed, and they really quickly just do some zombie makeup on one leg of like a cue card holder. And she walks into the shot, but you just see her zombified leg, and she sits there, and it's like, oh shit, is the zombie going to find her? And then it never pays off. The zombie just walks away and the tension is lost and the actor looks confused and you're like, what the hell happened? And when they show the making of part, she literally walks in with one zombified made up leg and is holding a piece of paper that says, pick up the axe I just left outside. And then before you go into the next shot, and you're like, God damn, they did it. Like this is it's got a lot of that shit in it. And it's
Every justification
very
is
cool.
so well done and executed that like you immediately forgive every shortcoming of the first 37 minutes of the film. Like it's so good.
They make you ask all these questions and then they answer them. Usually those kinds of questions, it's just like you're left baffled. And instead they're like, no, this is why. This is why. And this kind of thing happens in every movie you've ever seen, and you need to appreciate movies more. That's kind of what I got out of it.
Yeah, there's no deeper meaning. Like, obviously, we said Smile last week wore its message on its sleeve. And, like, actually, this movie, like, low-key wears its message, like, even further down on its sleeve. Like, the message is, like, see what we do for you. Appreciate us.
Though, to be honest, there was a little bit of an arc. Like, you know, the director, he starts out, he's this, cut and finish.
He hates the idea.
Well, there's that, and there's also the fact that he's not doing it for artistry. He's a director who gets it done cheap. And then by the end of the movie, he's making a creative choice that he cares about, and the whole crew comes together to make it happen. And so he does have a little bit of an arc where he becomes a little bit more of a passionate filmmaker.
We should also say that he is not supposed to be in this movie. He is not supposed to play the director in the one cut film, but that guy gets into like a car accident or something and can't show up.
The makeup artist, I think, or whatever that role was. Like those two people, that's a husband and wife duo that are thrown into this because they were the actual actors were having an affair and got into a car accident together.
Yep, 100%. So he gets an arc. The daughter of the director in the film, who we haven't mentioned up until now, she wants to follow in her dad's footsteps, but has no meaningful way to do so, isn't really gelling with the business very well. And she ends up being the one who their final scene isn't going to be, which is supposed to be like a big, like a camera on a crane shot of the actress standing on top of the bloody pentagram on the roof. And it's supposed to zoom out above her. And the crane falls off the building and is busted. And the guy who commissioned this movie for the studio is like, just cut the scene, dude. It's like not even that big of a deal. This is fucking television. Just cut it. And he's like, I'm not cutting that scene. That's the only thing in this movie that matters. And the producer's just like, what did you just say to me? And he's like, I'm sorry, I'll remember my place. We'll cut it. And the daughter sees that and says, oh, hell no. And comes up with this cool plan on the fly to make a human pyramid that the cameraman can climb up on top of to get the shot. It's a cool payoff too, because not only is it emotionally cathartic because you're seeing the daughter get her arc completed and make her, first mark on the industry. You're seeing the director be proud of his daughter for the first time in filmmaking. You kind of get the feeling, but also there's this really awkward scene where the dialogue takes too long and the actors like repeat their lines 3 times on the roof just prior to the final scene. And you learn that that's because somebody kept falling off of the pyramid and they had to keep extending it while they climb back into position.
It's very funny.
It works so well. And I also had qualms with how jagged the zoom out was when I watched the first movie. Well, it's jagged because he's climbing up a fucking human pyramid instead of on a crane.
Using the jib.
And then there's the part
so-
where they're being chased by the zombies and the camera is doing these like dramatic zoom ins and it does the same one over and over again. And I'm like the camera work suddenly got downgraded. And then you watch it after and literally the DP got hurt and his little camera assistant who had no idea what she was doing took over. And that's why it got worse. And
she also wanted to do that. She pitched the idea and he's like, that's corny.
He's like, that's
bad.
terrible. You will not do that. And she's like, this is my time.
And then it was corny and
She's like,
bad. But you see why. And that's great.
Every bad decision pays into what makes the film so charming and fun. It's kind of a great magic trick of a movie, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sets you up and then it like all of the payoff is pitch perfect.
I can't think of another movie that did this kind of thing where it pretends to be one thing and then it just takes a left turn on you like this. I mean, is this just like a new thing? I've played games that do this.
There are other movies that do this, but not to this level, because this almost does it twice in a way, if that makes sense. I mean,
that's true.
I mean, there are movies that do like dramatic plot changes. Like I'm thinking Dusk Till Dawn and stuff like is a crime Western that turns into a vampire horror film suddenly. But there's another, I saw a film recently.
The Cabin in the Woods kind of does it.
It does kind of do it.
A little bit.
Again, that's like not fourth wall breaking though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say
technically this movie also doesn't break the fourth wall.
We're almost the eighth wall. Like if you want to keep squaring things out like that, like that needs to be broken because like they break the.
We're in the 5th dimension.
Yeah, like when the cameraman wipes the blood off of the screen, that's breaking the fourth wall of the fake audience in the movie, right?
Yeah,
But it doesn't break our.
I guess that's the second time it does it because technically the director yelling keep rolling, don't cut no matter what directly into the camera is the first time he technically breaks the fourth wall, but you don't know what's going on there. It's a fourth wall break that doesn't feel like a fourth wall break. It just makes you confused about if the camera is a person or not.
Yeah.
It feels like a filmmaking error, which it is.
It was a truly original film that
absolutely
succeeded at what it set out to do, was charming. Yes, it was a slog to watch at times, but the payoff is incredible. I really want to hear where you guys would put this on the list.
It's tough because I want to put it low because it's not a horror film.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoyed the movie.
I enjoyed the movie as well. This, I will say, I didn't DNF it because I'll never DNF anything we're doing for the podcast, but I would have DNF'd this movie if I had just put it on. I had that thought during my watch through because I knew this movie was about a group of people making a movie about zombies when zombies really happened. But I didn't know that this was a movie about people making a movie about people who are making a movie about zombies when zombies really happened, right? And so I was so bored at first that I would have straight up DNF'd this movie.
Same.
It's fucking terrible. And then it gets good. And guess what? Controversial opinion. I don't like feel good shit. It's not my thing. I watched this with my girlfriend last night, and she was so pissed at the beginning to have to watch this, and by the end, she was like, "This is my favorite zombie movie of all time." And I'm like, "It's not a zombie movie. This isn't horror. Like, stop."
So I
loves it
gotta
too.
just say, like, I
Watch it with
read
her.
so many reviews of people being like, "This is the greatest zombie movie of all time."
No one wants
and
to
then
spoil it.
1-star reviews that were like, "I couldn't get through the first 30 minutes."
Yes.
Because nobody wants to be the one to ruin it for anybody else.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
you have to. I do think you need to sit through the first 30 minutes of this film. Like you just have to power through. It's worth the payoff. It's also not a zombie movie. I don't care
It's
what
not.
anyone says. It's not a horror movie as far as I'm concerned.
You know what I'll never DNF? Our list.
There's too many horror movies. You can never get through all of them.
Well, we are actually going to rank every horror movie of all time and pass final judgment on them. That is the premise of the podcast.
Yeah, even if we have to live to be like 2,000 years old, we'll do it. We'll make it happen. We'll make
do it.
deals.
We'll do it.
I'm already on the way to 2000 personally.
You got me beat.
Do y'all have the same difficulty with this movie as me, where it's like I enjoyed the film, but I literally have no idea of where to put this on the list?
The only difficulty that I personally face is introducing this list. So I'll real quickly, I'm gonna build out this list for our audio viewers, listeners. That's what we're calling them these days. We have a list, boys. Audio
Can we do
viewers.
that every time now? We're going to build out this list for our audio viewers.
For audio viewers.
I don't want to say listeners ever again.
It's hard to carry this podcast on my shoulders, guys. You're just dragging me down, all right? So we have a list. Boys, we made a list. How did we do it? What did we do?
We watched a bunch of movies and then we argued about where they go on the list. Sometimes
That's right.
to unanimous agreement, generally towards the bottom of the list.
Yes.
And sometimes to some disagreement, kind of towards the middle of the list. Actually, we're pretty unanimous about the top and bottom.
And at a certain point, we're going to have to stop reading the whole list out.
Oh, well, we'll do. Look, I got
we'll
a whole
list
system.
all 100.
I got a whole list. While it's 10, we're gonna do 10, but we'll gradually. It'll be like 1, 10, 100, 2. Like that's
Yeah.
Trust me,
okay,
I got
that
a
makes
system.
sense.
I got
There's
it.
a system.
Speaking of this list and its system, is sitting at the top. You know it, you love it. It's The Exorcist, #1 horror movie of all time.
So good.
Just barely beating out A Quiet Place, followed by last week's entry, Smile. Paranormal Activity at number 5, Insidious. Number 6, Saw. At number 7 is Halloween. Number 8, Chopping Mall. Number 9, Bird Box. And number 10, the worst horror movie of all time, The Human Centipede, the first sequence. Boys, what are we thinking for One Cut of the Dead?
So, despite everything said about this movie so far, I have to say, I think there's a legitimate argument to be made about putting this as number 11
No.
beneath Human Centipede.
No.
Disagree.
If
No. Just
you can disqualify
look-
it from the list, you could argue for that, but you can't put it at 11.
You're being a
I
legalist,
absolutely
Chaz.
can, because here's the thing. Yes, it's listed as horror film by our criteria, but my personal opinion of the movie is it's not a horror film. It's not a zombie film. It's a comedy, and it's a bit of a drama, I guess you could maybe say. But like, it's more just a comedy than anything else. And that means it's not a good horror film. Human Centipede's not a good horror film, but it is a horror film.
If I was
I'm not
going
saying
to
this
take
is the
your
correct argument,
it's not.
but it's an
Just to be
argument that can be
clear.
made.
Just to be clear,
I
it's
don't
not the
agree
correct
with it
argument.
either, but it
But
can be made, and I thought
let's-
a lot about it.
I'm gonna debunk it right now. You say one cut of the dead. Cut that out, please. One Cut of the Dead.
Please leave it in.
Is a bad horror movie, and The Human Centipede is also a bad horror movie. I would say, if that's true,
That's not
hold on,
correct.
hold on,
That's not
hold
what I
on.
said. I
Okay.
said it's not a horror film, which is different from a bad horror film.
I didn't say you said it was a bad horror film. You said
say
it makes it
you think
not
it's
a good
bad
horror
at
film.
being a horror film.
No, it's not bad at being. It is not a horror film.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And I want to be specific. Like
The
that is
Human
my opinion of
Centipede.
it.
The Human Centipede is not a good film, like at all. Regardless, like this is a
Agreed.
good film, and I'm gonna go ahead and remind our audio viewers that this is a vibes-based list and a vibes-based podcast. And number one, you're throwing my vibe off pretty hard right now by wanting to throw this at the bottom of the list. And number two, I know you didn't really say that. Look, I'm riling you up.
Fair
Number
enough.
two.
I
This
agree.
movie
Number
has-
2. It should be number 2.
Yep, that's it. Have a nice day.
Quiet
No,
Place. Agreed. No, we're all unanimous. Number 2.
Look, this movie has the vibes of being on this list. So let's just nip any legalistic, it's not the right genre talk. It's got the vibes of the list. It's going on the list. It fits the legal definition we came up with IMDb genres and shit. The question I have for you is it better than The Human Centipede?
Yes.
Yes.
Beyond
Agreed.
a doubt.
Undoubtedly.
I am so mad. I can say I've seen The Human Centipede twice. I
I've
will
also
seen it
never say
twice.
that about any other movie on this list.
One Cut of the Dead is a love letter to filmmaking. The Human Centipede is a hate letter to filmmaking.
Ooh, I
It's
like
designed
that.
to make you hate movies and never want to watch one again.
It is a
Agreed.
love letter to centipedes, though, and that I can get behind.
I don't
no
think it's
pun
even
intended.
that. I gotta disagree
love letter
with
to
it being
poop.
a love
That's what
letter
it is.
to centipedes.
Yeah, it's a love letter to the first 2 minutes of any porn film you've ever seen, is what it is. And actually, like more of some others you might have unfortunately seen, to be honest. But moving right along, I don't want to dwell on that any further. This movie, I'm going to jump all the way up to Paranormal Activity here, an actual found footage horror film. This was kind of like our litmus test last week, so I hate to jump straight to Paranormal Activity again, but it kind of is the closest to
Technically,
Paranormal
like, it's the most
Activity.
similar.
It's the most similar.
I gotta put
It's-
it under paranormal.
I think it's
put it under Paranormal Activity.
I think it's undoubtedly
not as-
better than Paranormal. I would put it significantly higher than that. I think it's better than Smile too.
So okay, well let me.
That's
I'm not,
interesting.
I'm not immediately discounting what Chaz is going to say. I just want to hear Aaron's unabashed, unfiltered opinion.
I'd love to hear Aaron's opinion.
Where would you put this? Because I also like Chaz. I don't know quite where I want to put this, and I kind of just want to throw it on the list somewhere and not think about it because it is sort of like a challenge to our list and only 11 movies in. Where are you throwing this bad boy if this is your podcast and you're king?
So I think that purely vibes based, like how I felt going out of it, it's like wrestling with A Quiet Place. The Exorcist is not going to be topped by a film that's barely in the horror genre. It's just not. A Quiet Place, I love the film. It is a better made, more competent film than this one. The vibes are unmatched with One Cut of the Dead. It was just a movie that I love thinking about. I loved watching the end of it.
Sad movie versus a horribly happy movie.
It's
so,
true.
Like the vibes, yeah.
I don't think I could put it above A Quiet Place, which A Quiet Place also only sort of a horror movie, but it's a lot closer than One Cut of the Dead.
It's a monster movie. It's a lot closer for sure.
Yeah, I came out of Smile disappointed. I came out of One Cut of the Dead elated. I thought it was something that I'm going to remember for a very long time. It's going to be one of those movies I just think about forever. And I don't think it deserves to be below Smile, a movie that I thought was just like decent.
All right, I'll riff off of that real quick if I may. You said The Exorcist is not going to be unseated by a movie that's barely in the genre. My take on that is if it was better than The Exorcist, then it would be, but it's not. So
yeah, I mean, I'm with.
You're also
only
like
use-
comparing a student film versus one of the best filmmakers of the 70s.
No,
and
you're
80s.
not wrong. I mean, my use of does it fit the genre is kind of as a tiebreaker in my head. If there's two movies of the same quality and one's more of a horror film, that one's going to be in front.
You kind of touch on something like we kind of told ourselves that it wasn't worse than The Human Centipede because it wasn't a horror film, and then we kind of went ahead and said like, oh, but The Exorcist definitely is a horror film, so like fuck One Cut of the Dead, it can't beat it. I'm fine
I get
with
what
that.
you're saying. That's just what I was thinking though, because I think The Exorcist is
it's
a
better.
masterpiece.
There's
That's
no
the thing.
question.
Yeah,
We all agree.
The Exorcist
So
is a better movie. Like,
So
but
Chaz-
also like I just said like it's a student film versus a full like film behind a great filmaker. You know, like
I mean that
can't
means
compare
literally nothing to me personally.
I
Fuck
think it
Friedkin.
says a
No, I'm
lot
just-
about.
I'm
Fair
just
enough.
saying,
But like,
Friedkin's not an infallible judge that
He's
decides whether
not.
movies ascend
I'm
into
not
heaven or
saying he
descend
is.
into hell.
I'm just
but
saying he's made a great movie.
the best of
and
all
it's-
time, you might say.
He also had a ton of history leading into making that movie versus a person
and far more
who
resources
doesn't and is just starting out.
So what I'm hearing is we all agree for sure that it's better than Human Centipede and worse than The Exorcist. Aaron's
Yes.
mentioned Quiet Place. I also think this is a better movie than Smile.
I'm not up there
Okay.
on that.
All right.
I
Where
find
you
the
at?
movie charming, and it also is a movie that like I keep thinking back to. In terms of this list, though, I was initially thinking putting it under Chopping Mall.
Oh, okay.
Mainly just because once again, like we talk about like, does it fit the genre or not? I think that has a large part of it, at least for me. If the movie doesn't fit the genre, I don't think it should go up above movies that I think do, that I also have some kind of affinity to rewatch. Which
We're going
I
to
have
get caught up
zero
on this repeatedly.
desire to watch Human
we need to just
Centipede
decide.
or Bird Box.
I
We need to
have
decide
zero
how
to say.
much we're weighing genre. I think that's something we need to actually just like work out right now.
yeah.
Fair
Because
enough.
like I like it as a tiebreaker. Again, like we have our criteria. Our criteria is the IMDb and the Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it's on us to litigate. I think we watch it, and if we like the movie more, that's it. And then we can use whether or not it's a horror movie. That makes sense as a tiebreaker to me because of the genre we're using. But
I
we're
don't know
ranking
that I can
films.
separate the two. I don't view it as ranking film. I view it as ranking horror film. Like if we got rid of the criteria of it needing to be horror in the first two or horror in the first sentence of Wikipedia, there's a ton of movies I'd put above The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
So if like we're getting rid of the aspect of it needing to be a horror film, then it kind of throws off the whole list. And also,
horror
like,
is such a
let me just say,
wide genre. I mean,
is,
because like
and this
Shaun
is
of the
just
Dead,
not
you're going to sit
the
here and compare
genre.
Shaun of the Dead to The Thing and say, oh, well, The Thing's more of a horror movie. Shaun of the Dead's
I
a
also
horror
prefer
comedy.
The Thing.
But okay, that's not what we're talking about. What I'm saying is,
bad example, I guess.
I don't
but
think that we should litigate what falls into horror, because then we're going to start saying that horror comedies are lower, or we're going to start saying that slasher films are more
won't.
pure horror than
I won't
found footage.
necessarily do that. But
Let me ground
thing
us.
about this film specifically is it doesn't fit the genre at all, in my opinion.
Let me ground us real quick. Because this is becoming circular, and that's okay. Let me bring us back to a place of I see what Chaz is saying, and I see what Aaron is saying. What Aaron is saying is how horror is something that we have objectively decided to put a criteria, a cutoff. It's the Wikipedia thing, the IMDb thing. We've talked about that. To me, that decides if the movie gets to walk through the door and be on this podcast. Beyond that, it's just when it comes to ranking these movies, we have agreed One Cut of the Dead has walked through the door and made it onto this podcast. And that's your fault, you son of a bitch, just to be clear.
I know.
But-
I suggested this film. Also, once again, not knowing enough about it, apparently.
I hear
But
it.
that's good.
And that's what's good. That's what's good about it. Look, it's here.
Honestly,
It's
the
here.
best part about it is if you watch it not knowing what it's about.
So let's
So,
rank it as if
listen.
it was.
Agreed.
So if
Chaz?
let me ask you this. If you did know what it was about, would you rank it lower on the list
Yes.
if it
For
had
sure.
been spoiled for you?
This cannot be watched a second time and capture the lightning in the bottle of the
that's
first view.
But
Kind
there's
of
something
my-
cool about
Another
that.
argument for why it shouldn't be so high up on the list. Once
No, I
again,
don't
we've
think it
also
is.
given like
Well,
priority
that's like
to
saying,
like
like-
rewatchability, and this movie does not have it.
That's like saying The Sixth Sense isn't as good the second time. It's like maybe not, but it, a
But I think The
twist, a
Sixth Sense-
surprise is a tool that filmmakers
Let me-
use.
I
Yeah,
think
let
The
me-
Sixth
let me-
Sense is a better example of how a twist can still work, because now on that second watch you can like notice more things.
You
and
can
I
do
think
that here,
this
too.
movie kind of does that, but just not as well.
The reason it doesn't do that is because the movie shows you the first 36 minutes of the movie a second time, and if it didn't, the second watch would be elevated. But again, I think to take your argument, let's say that like on average you watch a movie the first time and you get a B result, okay? And normal movies, you watch them, you get a B result. You watch the second movie, or you watch it a second time, you get B result again. You watch it a third time, you get B result again. You keep coming back to it. It's the same every time. What this movie does is you watch it the first time and you get an A result. And then when you watch it the second time, you get a C result potentially. And so the argument becomes like, what's better, a movie that's just a B every time you watch it, or a movie that's an A the first time you watch it, and then maybe it's a C from that point on? Again, these aren't objective things, and I must stress this is a vibes-based podcast. The vibes of this movie feel somewhere... Well, again, this movie's also like an electron to me. Like, you can never predict where it is on the list or know where it's on the list specifically. You can only predict its position on the list, right? I could if I pulled up this list and I saw it below Chopping Mall, I'd be like, damn, I get it. And if I saw it like below Quiet Place, I'd be like, damn, I also get it. So I don't really have a dog in this fight, but I don't want to sit it out either. I would probably start compromising and throw this somewhere in the dead middle of this list, and hope and pray that it doesn't come up a lot, because
it's a difficult movie.
I don't know. I have an issue. My issue is not... What sucks is we all agree. But
we do.
We disagree about the list. We don't
ways.
disagree about the movie. We disagree about the list.
It's gonna come up a lot. This movie's gonna be like, and now we have to decide if this week's movie is better than One Cut of the Dead. We can't relitigate it.
One thing we're giving this movie too much is on its charm, and like it's such a charming movie.
Yeah,
like don't get me wrong, it's got charm out the wazoo. You know, like it's endearing. It makes you love it, no matter how hard you try to dislike it, I think.
Well, I disagree. I do not like feel-good movies, or I was thoroughly disappointed with this. I cannot deny how cool it is. I cannot deny how novel it is, and how objectively good this movie is, in my opinion, which is subjective.
That plays into my argument, though, where it's like you're saying you dislike the things this movie is, but you're like, I still appreciate what it is. Like that to me is like what I'm saying, though.
I also dislike monster movies as a genre, and was fine with Quiet Place being at number 2 because I get it. And what I'm saying is I dislike this genre of movie, feel good, everybody came together and succeeded movies. Not a fan. I also get it. I wish you hadn't invited this movie to the party, but you have, and now
not this
I'm
early.
glad you did, because I got to see the movie, and that made me happy.
Now
I am happy I watched it. Like I am so pleasantly surprised by the film,
because I would have never seen this.
Yeah, same. It's been on my list for years, and I just never got around to it. And this podcast gave me the reason to like push for it. But fuck if isn't it not confusing for where it should go.
I'm going to continue my awful party metaphor. You invited it to the party. Everybody wishes it wasn't here potentially, but it is here. So we now have to either tell it to go home, we don't want it here, or we have to say, go get a slice of cake in the kitchen and mingle amongst everybody, and
like a vampire who only eats cake.
Like, yeah, so let them stay, right? So my question is, right off the bat, do we just want to say we refuse to rank this movie? Or do we want to?
No,
love it.
It's more fun to rank it.
We got to
rank it. Okay.
That's the point of the podcast.
Rapid fire. Chaz, what's the position? Give me the movie it's below.
It's going in between Saw and Halloween.
It's going in between Saw and Halloween. Aaron, where are you putting it?
I would be so mad if this... I mean, okay, I know it's going to, but I'm mad if it doesn't go above Smile.
You're mad if it doesn't go above Smile.
Yes. Sorry. I know I didn't really follow the prompt, but like that is my sticking point. It was a rapid
fire question.
I like this
and you
movie
did pros.
so much more than Smile. Like a lot more, but that's just me.
David, rapid fire. Where it's going?
Same place Aaron said, below Quiet Place.
Wow. Okay.
But hey, here's the thing. I don't want to do a majority rules. I want to compromise here. Me and Aaron wanted to go above Smile, below Quiet Place, but I don't think it should actually end up there, because I think that your positioning as the new number 7, I kind of want to let you drag it down into a compromising position. Unfortunately, Aaron says he doesn't want it to go below Smile, so if it drops even one spot, Aaron's got a massive crump.
I can't always get what I want. I'm 1/3 of this.
Let me make the argument then. Sorry, Aaron. And also, let me say, maybe I kind of agree with y'all. Like, if this was just, if I was only viewing this as like how much I enjoyed a movie off like one watch, this could probably go up. Like, honestly, this could go above The Exorcist. Because my first watch of The Exorcist, I didn't immediately fall in love with it. But my first watch of this movie, I did. So, like, just in terms of that, this could be number one. I've now argued for the worst.
All right, let's do it. It's number one.
All right.
But
Podcast over, everybody. New favorite film.
I think it's a disservice for us to put it above Smile, especially this early on, because it could potentially, if we're saying this can get that high up, it's going to immediately devalue other films. I think it can skew us in a bad way. It's creating too much of a bell curve, and I don't think it deserves to.
I value originality very high, and I think this was an incredibly original film, and Smile was incredibly derivative. That's kind of why I'm defending it so hard.
Okay. Noted. How about this? If you were going to accept that both Paranormal Activity and One Cut of the Dead are found footage horror movies, as IMDb says they both are, One Cut of the Dead is a better found footage horror movie.
I'd agree to that.
Let's put it at number 4.
I can live with it at number 4.
That's kind of where I'm at. I don't like it, but
I don't like it either. So I think that's kind of like where we're at.
It's a really good podcast episode if nobody's happy. So David, you're really ruining this one.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'm never happy, but I am. I'm fine. Honestly, this movie, if every time I loaded up this Google Doc, there was some program that put this in a different position on the list as a wild card, I would actually love that.
Just a Schrodinger's film.
People,
it really is.
We are, Schrodinger's film for our audio viewers today.
Every time you say audio viewers, I'm picturing someone just staring at a waveform, and then just every now and then they just laugh. They're really
That's me watching us record this episode.
Yeah, right. I'm looking at the waveforms and then I go,
viewer. Guys, we did it. We ranked a movie. We almost didn't, but we did. You guys feel good about it?
No.
More or less.
Oh, okay. All right. Like, well, listen.
Honestly, no. One Cut of the Dead was such a weird film. I don't know I'll ever be happy about where it got on this list.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will
I
show
love the
up.
movie, though. Let me just say like that. As much as I played the villain to it getting on this list after also recommending it, but
it could have been
sure
worse.
It's going to show up as an annoying tiebreaker in the future for all time, and we'll have Chaz to thank for that.
It'll make interesting content, I think, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, guys, that's an 11. Your new top 11, folks, with One Cut of the Dead being number 4, just edged out by Smile, A Quiet Place, and the top horror movie of all time, The Exorcist. We should keep doing this, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
Absolutely. And that's why next week we're watching I Saw the TV Glow.
I Saw the TV Glow. I know literally nothing about this movie other than it's horror.
I've got good word of mouth about the film from reviewers and critics I enjoy following, but I don't really know what the movie's about.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I don't want to spoil anything at all or even give my opinion, but I will say it's one of the most interesting films I've seen in the past 10 years.
Well, cool. Well, just like Chaz, I too have good words in my mouth, and I will use them to say goodbye. See you next week. Mwah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Action!
Action!